You're listening to another great show from the Nod Network. Find more great content at nerdod.com.
Because there's a wrestler called Ric Flair, and Rich Radiance is not far off.
You have to do it, Dave.
Does sound like it.
Okay, watch out. Watch your audio levels. Whoa!
You sound like Scooby-Doo!
Welcome to the Nerd OD podcast. I'm Dave.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa.
You are beardless, Dave.
Oh.
Yes.
It's not even my final form, Reg.
Russelled.
It's not even my final form. Yeah, because everyone's growing quarantine beards, man. Everyone's growing beards, and I'm like, well, I've already got one. So what am I gonna do? So I had a quarantine shave.
You do look like the illegitimate love child of the two guys from Mythbusters.
Well, I have in my previous previous lives. What the fuck am I talking about? I have sported all of the facial hairstyles of that show at one point or another. So I have been called Jamie Hyneman more times than I like to count. So.
See, the thing is, you've got the wrong hair color for him, so that's why you've got a little bit of the other guy.
Hey, I haven't.
That's what she says.
Hair. I've barely got any hair. I've let it grow out on top, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see what it's like if I've actually got hair on my head. And then I was like, is it thin on top, Lou? And she's like, yeah, it's really thin. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. That's true love right there.
Do you know the best thing, though, about this whole situation?
Go for it.
This is an audio podcast.
That is true. So you'll have to imagine me with no beard.
Yes, but anyone who listens to our podcast should also go on our YouTube page and see the videos. So if you're like me, who literally only met Dave through this, all of a sudden I'm like, this is fucking weird seeing Dave with no beard. Like, we'll put if you all right with you, Dave, we will put the picture up of beardless Dave on the Nerd OD page.
Everyone needs to see it. It's a public service announcement.
It freaks me out.
Better than that, let's share his TikTok.
Oh, we'll share the TikTok.
Share my TikToks.
Dan, on that, I genuinely get wanting to bring this up because I want to make a Nerd OD TikTok. Hear me out. Hear me out. So, you know our Deadpool?
Yep.
He has one, and it's fantastic. And some of the videos he's been doing that you can, because you can, it's called duetting. You can duet with somebody, which is where your video goes alongside theirs. Mm-hmm. There is like some big opportunities to duet with people we've frequented with, I think.
Okay. Well, just he's our Deadpool, by the way. Basically, is a Deadpool that's in all of our Comic-Con videos, and he's on most things. He's the Shropshire Pool. So the _Shropshire _pool. Go find him.
You know what the best thing about all this is as well? Is the fact that we've introduced him before we introduced the rest of us.
Well,
I stopped
before you've introduced yourself.
Like, it's beardless Dave. And then we start talking, and now we're like, hey, Shropshire Pool.
It's not our job to introduce you, Reg. You should have done it. You should have taken your opportunity.
And instead, Reg, you put all the onus on my lack of facial hair. Made me feel very self-conscious, I must say.
Also,
very
I'm pretty confident that the Shropshire Pool has more clout than Reg does.
Maybe.
I worry he has more clout than all of our videos. I'm worried that people watch it for him.
Absolutely.
I get the fact he might have it over us, mainly because we have Steve dragging us down. Wow. But me, personally, you know...
I mean, you're a force of nature, Reg. You're a force of nature.
I'm just thinking about the Steve Dragon.
That as well.
Now I'm thinking of Red Dragon, and that's not good.
So, Dan, can we have our own TikTok, please?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We've got to, get on board with all the new trends. We'll have to get the t-shirts and the cards updated. You know, maybe
down with the kids.
Maybe take the Twitch logo off because that never really happened, did it?
Yeah, we're always evolving, Dan. That's the important thing. I wound up in an argument with someone the other day, and this is I try to avoid politics on the internet because why would you, right? But there's this one guy, and he's a friend of a friend. I will never meet him in real life, and yet I don't hate anyone on the internet like I hate this guy. Like, we have this, he says something, and I have to attack it, and vice versa. He has to attack me. I don't know why. Never meet the guy. I'll never meet him in real life. At least I hope not. And we got into a discussion. We got into an argument about something political, and it wound up going down the route of the fact that he referenced the fact that I had TikTok videos. And I don't hide the fact I'm 35 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. TikTok I'm probably 10 years too old for its first, 15 years too old for its target audience. However, it's the fucking internet, mate. What are you going to do? It's social media.
Was it I don't really accept that coming from someone who has a TikTok?
I mean, ish. I mean, he implied, and the implication was that because I was in my 30s and I made TikTok videos, I must therefore be stupid. Now, I don't know who has seen. Well, I don't know. Look, first of all, and also he said that I look 30. I was 30, and I was like, well, thank you. I'm actually 35. And he's like, well, you look 45. I'm like, fuck you, but I'll shave my beard now. Not related. Not related. But I don't know if anyone's been on TikTok. Some of the videos, they're nuts. They're absolutely insane. Some of the things people have pulled off in ridiculous vertical videos. So it's not stupid people doing well on TikTok. So to say that I make videos, therefore I'm dumb, come on, man. Yeah. Like, people making a living out of that. People making a fortune getting likes on TikTok. So don't go saying.
If one of your videos got a certain amount of clout, you'd be in a situation where you'd be loaded. And also, I disagree with the idea that TikTok has a target audience. Like, they're not going to turn around to... No, I mean, they're not going to be like, sorry, you're too old.
No. There's an except. Like, every social media platform has like a target audience, right? Like there's demographics for each one, and TikTok is definitely the kind of 16 to 24 bracket at most. Like that's the aim. We sneak on there, us old men, some of us with kids, some of us with cats. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not on there, Reg, but it's a matter of time. You might end up on there. I think it just happens. I think it's just like gray hairs. One day you wake up and you've got a TikTok account.
I hope not. I don't mind the grey hair thing, but the whole idea of TikTok just terrifies me. No, I'm that old person.
I love the idea. I love the idea of Reg having a series of 15-second videos where he explains a plot point from Shenmue. Every video is just Reg talking to camera, giving a 15-second snippet of something Shenmue related. I would follow that account, Reg. I want to see that happen.
God damn you, Dave.
There you go.
God damn you and everything you stand for. So now I need a TikTok account.
Well, okay, just a quick update on there. NerdOD is now on TikTok. Hey. At NerdOD.
Brill.
And follow Olsen Prime.
Okay, so the first one is we need to do that hit or miss. I bet they never miss. Because that's what they all do, right?
There's a lot of those dance challenges, man. There's a lot of those dance challenges where like people either put crazy amounts of effort in, you go, wow, okay, that's quite impressive for a silly little video. And there's some where people just people don't even try it. I'm like, it's not like it's hard. There's one of those dance ones at the minute. I don't know what the hell the song is. It's some weird language. And it's you just moving your arms up and down, right? You just you move your arms up and down. And you do it for like 8 seconds. It's not a big deal. And there's some people where I watch them, and they're just like not even bothered. I'm like, you've chosen to record yourself. It's not like someone's making you record this. You've chosen to do it, and you're like, I'll just throw an arm over here. Well, what's the point? Why are you doing it? You don't have to be doing it. At least put some effort in, people.
That's the problem with the youth of today, David.
That is true. That is true.
Don't do anything with full effort. It's all by halves.
Vigor. I want to see vigor.
That's it. Yep. TikTok and vigor.
I'm so excited.
Now the problem is, Sean, is that I enjoy it in the sense that some of the videos are funny, and I felt it was a fun way to pass the time making little videos. It's all right. You really like it, love it. And you've gone all in. You've gone hard on this. And I worry for you.
Mainly with cat videos, though, right?
That is true. I did enjoy your last cat video. I did enjoy that. I don't know.
Now the idea of me having a TikTok has gone.
Guys, our first follower is the Shropshire Pool.
Yay! Yay! Reg, I feel like I need to pull some of your photos from social media and make you a TikTok account. I'm gonna make you a TikTok story.
This happened to me with the adult industry and stuff as well. All of a sudden, randomly getting phone calls because people are taking my picture and using it as a model and stuff. It's weird. It happens every now and again.
Are we talking headshots or are we talking other pictures?
I'll leave that to your imagination, my friend.
Don't, Reg. Don't. This is an audio podcast. I don't want you to hear it. No, honestly,
Reg After Dark.
Reg After Dark is back. Oh, Reg After Dark. I have longed for that show. God, how long ago was we pitched? Was that in the first Nerdity podcast?
It was
a while back.
Definitely a while back. It was a while ago. And I think at some point it might happen. Because now the nights are getting darker as well. I think it's only fair.
The nights are getting darker?
Yeah, it's half night now. It's dark.
Hang on a second.
They're dark.
Question the science, Dan.
Okay.
We're on the wrong side of the year for that, aren't we?
No, I think you're thinking the nights are getting longer, but they're not. They're getting shorter. But are they getting darker?
Yeah, I think so. It's at 9:30 now, and it's really dark outside.
No, it's not. It's the opposite.
In the words of Harvey Dent,
sunlight.
In the words of Harvey Dent, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Exactly.
That's it.
So there you go.
Exactly.
And incidentally, the Shropshire Pool is now following me on TikTok.
Can you Skype bomb? Is he listening in?
That would be interesting. That if he just casually cuts in on a Skype. About security.
I do want to shout out how much of a legend he was today, because we're putting together the Internet Sings video, and he'd not responded. He'd not picked a line, and I was starting to get a bit worried. So I messaged him on Instagram, going, something's really worrying with this close to doing a video without you. What's going on? He goes, oh, sorry, we need to sort that out, don't we? Went on, picked a line. Within 5 minutes, I had an email saying, here's my bit. So it took him 5 minutes to get into his Deadpool outfit, stick his unicorn soft toy in the little baby holder, and then learn the lines, learn the lyrics to "We're All in This Together" from High School Musical. So
that's impressive.
It's very impressive.
Dan, you don't have any kids that you're aware of, do you?
No, I'm pretty sure. No.
Because
you're aware of.
Because I want to point out that you just referred to his his tactical vest as his baby holder.
No, but he's got a unicorn in it.
I know, but Reg, back me up here. There are very few baby harnesses that look as aggressive as a tactical vest.
No, I've been looking.
I go over my kid. It's blue with stars all over it.
Where is he? Oh yeah, that's a tactical vest.
Yeah.
I never really looked that closely, to be honest. I just
saw baby holder.
I just figured it was like the one that Alan out of The Hangover wears.
I can see that. I can see that.
But yeah, no, there's room for ammo. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Deadpool's baby holder.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Just the idea of Deadpool wielding babies in combat is a thing there. I'm not sure. These nights getting longer. It's driving me crazy, you know?
Yeah, I like darker. I like it a lot.
It's getting darker.
So, speaking of, I don't know how to tie this in. I don't know how to segue it.
Go for it.
But, yeah, Space Jam.
Space, nighttime, dark, space
dark
jam.
Dark space, yeah. Dark space, toast, butter jam. Now, see, that's a terrible segue, but I do love the film Space Jam. And the fact that it's now on Netflix makes me happy.
Is that why you want to talk about it, Sean?
Why?
Because it's on Netflix.
No, because I watched it last night.
We watched it 2 nights ago as well. That's really weird.
What do you mean?
Me and Shell watched it 2 nights ago.
I think it's because of the fact that it's on. It's there.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Stuff goes on Netflix, and it's stuff that if it's on TV, you just pass it by. But you're like, oh, look, it's on Netflix now. We should watch it.
So I have not seen it for many, many years, but I really want to see it again because in my head, it's this incredible film. Now,
yeah, same. That's how I thought of it.
Is that because I watched it 20 years ago? Really?
So bad. Yeah, it's honestly...
It's not as good as I remember. I agree with you on that.
No.
I'm pretty sure that I could make a better movie.
Also, can I ask, correct me if I'm wrong remembering this, isn't Billy Crystal like Michael Jordan's best mate in it?
No.
No,
Bill
it's
Murray.
the guy...
Bill Murray?
No, it's the guy from... it's the guy from
Seinfeld. Newman from Seinfeld is like his PR guy for the baseball team that he plays.
See, I know him from Toy Story 2 and Jurassic Park.
Yeah, of course.
I was going to say, wasn't he the Jurassic Park guy?
Yeah,
Wait, Seinfeld.
I know Dave's a Seinfeld fan, so I thought I'd go straight.
Did you see the fan made point and click Seinfeld game last week.
Yeah, I did. I
wanted to talk about it last week, but we never got around to it. And now you brought up Seinfeld. I'm like, I know you guys are Seinfeld fans. And apparently,
I've never watched it.
A lot of pace. There's a potential where they're looking to do some gubbins with it.
It looks good.
I'm worried that if I were to rewatch Seinfeld now, it wouldn't hold up. Like, I've got that fear. It makes me sad.
It's one of those things that I've been watching it on 4OD, and I'm halfway through season 2, and it does because I remember a lot of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's this episode. 99% of the episodes are there's something major in that you'll remember for ages, like the soup Nazi or loads of things like that.
No soup for you. I know that from script.
Yeah, exactly. But the old episodes, I think it's like Friends. They look a lot older than until you get like 2 or 3 seasons in, and suddenly the budget was a bit higher, and it was filmed a bit better quality, and it just something about it starts to feel a little bit more watchable and a bit more current.
Yeah.
And it's definitely found it with Friends. Shell's been watching every episode of Friends on Netflix, and we're on like halfway through season 10 now. But the first couple of seasons, you can really tell how old it is. But
I never watched Friends. I saw the odd episode here and there, of course, because you couldn't avoid it.
I didn't like it.
I never liked it. Liked it.
Same. And I feel so like put out by the fact that I didn't like it because the whole planet does. But before we move off Space Jam, just for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not finished on Space Jam either, to be honest. So carry on.
Let's go back to Space Jam.
But my first question was, did Michael Jordan get paid to be in that movie, or did he pay to have that movie be made? Because essentially, it should be just called Michael Jordan, the movie.
Yeah.
Secondly, why was the acting so bad from everybody? Like, even Bugs was terrible.
I mean, the worst part, though, is that it focuses on Michael Jordan when he's a baseball player. And, like, no one knows him as a baseball player. That was the...
that was the joke. They made him out to be a bit of a joke in the baseball player.
Because all the best basketball players have their talent stolen. So they need a reason to not steal Michael Jordan's. Because Michael Jordan's not playing baseball, they don't realize. Because when they get to the game, they're like, "Who's this guy?" And they're like, "Michael Jordan." And he's like, "I can't believe we missed Michael Jordan," but they did because he was playing baseball badly.
I see.
Also, it kind of felt like Who Framed Roger Rabbit a bit, just with regards to the whole crossover thing. Mm-hmm. But even though it was made 15 years later, 10, 15 years later,
10 years, I think.
And it couldn't have been that much.
But they still weren't that much better. Like, despite the fact that technology was progressing rapidly in the 90s, 2000s.
You're comparing blowing Warner Brothers Looney Tunes to Disney.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Space Jam has the dubious honor of being the first film. I'm sure I've spoken about this on a previous Nerdy podcast, which is quite uncanny. It's the first film that ever gave me concerning thoughts about an animated character, shall we say?
Okay.
Oh, Bugs Bunny's missus.
Lola Bunny, son. Mm-hmm. Lola Bunny. Yeah. Show her the respect that she has owed.
If you want to feel better about that, Dave, just Google for Lola Bunny cosplay.
I don't want to do that.
No. I'm a married man, Dan. I can't be doing that.
That's why you should be doing that.
I can't risk my browser history searches like that. Are you kidding me?
We discussed this. Oh, you weren't on last week. You didn't. You weren't on the private browser discussion. No, it was the Tor. It was the one before, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Tor browser.
Maybe that's a bit overkill.
I think if you're using Tor browser to search for Lola Bunny cosplay, you have hit a dark place.
Speaking of going to dark places,
I've got to try and stay a bit quiet about this because Ash is now on the phone to her nan, and I'm just like, have you ever remember the Caramel Bunny and how fit she was? But I'm like,
we've definitely
better not really have this conversation.
Yeah, speaking of going to dark places, are we forgetting the fact that R. Kelly did the soundtrack?
Absolutely. Yeah. But that take away from an amazing film?
I mean, it does though. Like every time, because they play "I Believe You Can Fly" at the very start, the very end.
It's a product of its time. At the time, no one knew that he liked to piss on children. No one knew that. Now we do. Things are different. But back then, it was pre-remix to Ignition. It was pre-Ignition, let alone the remix.
Oh,
so. By the way, have you ever listened to that
non-remix version of Ignition?
Have you ever heard it? No.
No.
Yeah.
It's insane. The remix of Ignition is one of those songs where you're like, hang on, why did this happen? But then you listen to the song Ignition, and it's like a slow jam version of that. So it's just as insane, but in a really weird, like, kind of, you think he's taking the piss, but I don't think he is. I think he's serious. Very unusual. Search for it. It's online. It's just weird.
What I find interesting is the fact that Netflix is this like they don't vet what they're putting on. Like, the other week they put on this documentary about R. Kelly and like how he's a bad man, and then 2 weeks later they're putting Space Jam on there.
No, I think they know exactly what they're doing.
Conversely, Disney Plus are blooming editing anything they can that's a little bit risque they don't want on. Have you seen about Splash?
Yeah, they took out the nudity.
Well, yeah, there's a scene where Daryl Hannah runs into the ocean naked, and you just see her butt. And she's got quite long blonde hair, but it goes down to sort of the bottom of her back, so you can still see her butt crack. She runs into the water, but now the Disney Plus version has really, really badly extended hair to cover her butt.
They gave her a new weave.
It's so bad.
Disney Plus.
I mean, it's double standards. Disney Plus are double standards because they're keeping a Pixar story on there, and John Lasseter ended up being a bloody sex pest.
Yeah, but if you got rid of John Lasseter stuff, you'd lose all of Pixar movies.
Yeah.
And I watched Toy Story 4 for the first time the other day, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
but you don't need to see him. You don't need to see him on the TV.
But they're not putting Song of the South on, so there you go. They do have their limits.
They have got some amazing stuff on there, though. So we've got a Disney Plus account. Thank you.
Amazing.
Because it's not mine, so I just want to say thank you for giving me that. And it's amazing. So Oliver the only downside to it is Oliver is completely obsessed. I was talking to this Dan last night about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which was great because it got us away from Peppa Pig. So, amazing for that. However, now when you're talking about TikTok dances and like everyone's doing dance crazes, every time I hear the word dance, all I can have in my head is the hot dog dance. And for that sake, I also just want to delete Disney Plus from existence.
Yep.
I do need to say
when he goes to bed,
I don't know what the hot dog song is. Reg.
You do, because I told you yesterday.
Yeah, I
want to hear it.
Sean, do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
Dave, do you know?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, well, Reg.
Well, if you go on YouTube and Google Mickey Mouse Clubhouse end credits,
I can't. I'm on a podcast right now.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. We got it's time for cheers. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. And so on.
I thought you were saying, Reg, that sounds like a banger to me.
It's
that was
so
longer than
catchy.
you needed to get this. Well, thank you.
When he doesn't want to sleep and it's like fucking 2 a.m, and then you're trying to put on whatever you want to watch, so he will sleep because it's bored. He'll just start grabbing my slippers because I've got Mickey Mouse feet slippers, like the big yellow shoes, and he'll grab the control and just start putting the control onto the slipper to be like, you know what I want. Not again.
It is.
So that's that. I've now watched
the power that children have. I love it.
It's insane. I've now watched that. It's a complete set of series about 19 times in the space of a week that we've fucking had Disney Plus.
Well,
what's the theme for it? Are they still using the classic Mickey Mouse theme? Is it still Mickey Mouse Club? Mickey Mouse Club?
No, it's now for the intro to that one. There's because he's got 2 series which we watch. So Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which you'd have the initial. It's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun inside. MICKEY. MOUSE. That's me. Like
they don't use MICKEY MOUSE. Mickey Mouse.
They do spell out Mickey, but they don't do the whole thing. And then they've got Mickey and the Roadster Races, which is a bit more of an upbeat banger, and I don't mind that so much because we've only watched
they've stuck them in cars
series about 3 times, so that's all right.
Disney Plus, though, they have pulled something off, which is one of those moments when you go, oh, well played, company. And I saw it today. Currently, you have got all of the Star Wars films and series on Disney Plus. All of them, with the exception of one, and that's The Rise of Skywalker, because it's brand new, in theory. But it's coming to Disney Plus. Yeah, it's coming to Disney Plus on May the 4th.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
They know what they're doing.
Have they
But
put?
they've got some amazing stuff on. So I wanted to discuss. They've got the Imagineering story.
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, that is one of the
really
shows that I really I want to watch. That I want to watch the Jeff Goldblum thing. And every Simpsons.
Days. I think I'm annoying the person.
Good as well.
Yeah, I think I'm annoying the person who I borrowed it off. Who I've got the credentials from, because he was watching it, and I'm like, I really want to watch that. He's only halfway through. I shouldn't really,
quick
but
question.
I will. So I went and done that.
Guys, quick question. We were just talking about Splash then. So is a mermaid a fish? Asking for a friend.
It depends whether they're in the water or not.
What was that?
It depends whether they're in the water or not.
As a mythological being.
Mm.
No, I mean when they've got fins. Like
when they're in the water and got the tail and they
bottom
breathe
half
underwater, I would say yes, because they can breathe underwater.
God for that. They are a fish. They are a fish.
Yeah.
So Ariel's a no-go unless she's in human form.
Yeah.
So
she needs legs.
Yeah.
Legs are my minimum expectation.
Wow. So that's what you're telling me. Every other disabled person, I'm really sorry if you don't have legs, you've got no ability to have them. But I suppose that might not be Dan's cup of tea, but they might have great personalities.
Dan's is a low bar. Dan has a low bar. Must have legs. All else optional.
Wasn't that a John Cusack film?
I don't know.
I'm referencing Must Love Dogs.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Pushing Tin then.
Oh, please. I really want a Photoshop of someone with John Cusack and must have legs.
If only enough people listen to this, that we had one of those audiences where at least one person was skilled in Photoshop and had time to do must have legs.
We did use that guy did that. What was the word I always used to get wrong? And he did a Lord of the Rings Gandalf meme.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. That was too long ago.
Oh, it was. Is
that the one where he's nodding?
Narrating instead of
narrating. Yes,
wasn't it? He was like, this guy is narrating.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about the nodding Gandalf with that awesome soundtrack in the background.
Can I throw a quick thing out there, which is somehow tied to our friends' conversation and our streaming services conversation?
Okay.
And I recently have completed watching the first series of The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus.
Oh my God, it's so good!
Apparently I have all the streaming services that have ever been invented, and I don't understand how it's ever happened. I've got no time to watch TV, but I've got it all.
That was breathtaking.
That show,
binge it in one day.
That show, bearing in mind, I know Jennifer Aniston from Friends, Office Space, and a string of bad movies. She then rocks up in this series, and she's 51 years old.
And she fucking throws it out of the park.
She is unbelievable in this series.
Yeah.
So the whole cast. So if you get a chance, there's like a week-long free trial of TV Plus if you don't have it. That series is absolutely worth all of your time.
Also, Steve Carell
has legs
as well. Is so
she has
good.
Legs. She has legs. So Dan's in.
Yeah.
Steve Carell is fantastic in that show. Like Steve Carell, he's good at being serious. He's good at being funny. He combines all that in this series, and he's amazing.
I can't wait until Space Force comes out.
Until what?
Space Force.
Dan, just a quick one on Morning Show before we move off.
Okay.
It's also got the guy as the weatherman who plays that guy in Galaxy Quest. What's his name? Fuck.
I've just literally recorded that because it was on Sky Cinema.
It's so good. The one that ends up going out with the alien at the end.
No, that's not him.
It is him.
It is not him. You absolute racist.
Is it not?
It is not Tony Shalhoub. No.
Also, how is that racist? He's white.
Hold on. The actor Nestor Carbonell.
Oh right. No, yeah. So he's out of Lost.
He's fantastic.
Oh shit! No, you're right. What have I seen him in recently? Yeah, you're completely right. Who was I thinking of?
You were thinking of Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub is Monk.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Honestly, though, last thing on the morning show, watch it. It's fantastic. Really, really fantastic.
Mm.
They've ripped off the music though. That intro sound is from a different track. I actually think it might be unlicensed.
I don't care.
The music that they use at the start.
It's probably from fucking Gareth Band, John.
But even the because when you're watching the show, no spoilers, but when you're watching the show and you're watching the credits scene, the opening credits, you've got these little animations of bouncing balls in the background, and the bouncing balls actually represent what the whole show is about. It's all about power struggles and stuff. So even the little bouncing balls are indicating like people. It's amazing. Did you spot that, Dave?
Yeah, it's a great show. I love it. So yeah, go and watch it. If you're in the mood for something serious and heavy, yeah, it's great.
And a bit funny because
there's some fun to it, but there's also some real heavy moments. So
and fucking Reese Witherspoon coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that means she was in Friends.
Was she?
Yeah, she's Rachel's sister in Friends.
Of course.
Everyone's been in Friends. Donald Trump's been in Friends.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned. I don't know whether. I'm sure you guys must know about Space Force that's coming to Netflix in the next couple of weeks.
Can't wait.
But it's the guy who the guy who did The American Office, and Steve Carell's in it. I think only for a few episodes, but he is in it.
Michael Schur.
Michael Schur.
Yeah. Greg Daniels.
Place as well.
Yeah,
Parks and Rec.
So many good people in it. Like and
there's a Parks and Rec special as well. That's done there as well. Full half-hour quarantine special.
I happened across a 3-minute clip. You know, when you're in a Facebook hole and there's videos coming up, and you wind up on something, and you're like, oh, I wound up on a 3-minute clip from an episode of Parks and Rec that I've not watched for several years. It was the one they had food poisoning. And it had me in stitches, and I've not watched that. And that, I think for me, that's the sign of a great TV show, especially a TV comedy, is when you can watch one bit of it separated by years, and it still makes you laugh like the first time you watched it.
Absolutely. You know, just on that first. Go on, sorry, Carl.
No, as I say, there's always there's key scenes from different shows, and they last 30 series of The Simpsons, but people remember Canyon Arrow and stuff like that, like bits like that, steamed hams, stuff like that stands out.
Monorail,
really great. The monorail, but I've not watched all 30 series of The Simpsons, and let's face it, it's as old as I am, that show. So
after about series 11, it goes downhill anyway. So all the quotable stuff stops.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, sorry. So on the Parks and Rec thing, I was just thinking about Ron Swanson. God, what's his name? What's his real name?
Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Oh my days! I was watching 24, and he's in season 2 of 24.
Yeah, he's one of the racist guys.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely. It was so bizarre. I didn't recognize him, but then I heard his voice, and I was like, "That's no."
It's
and
so
then
good.
And it was in the credits, and I was like, "Wow." Sorry, carry on.
There's a show on YouTube called Hot Ones, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. But yeah, it's basically. For those who haven't heard all of our podcasts, it's a show where it's basically an interview show, and this guy called Sean, can't remember his surname, sits down with someone famous, and then they go through hot wings from sort of light to ridiculously hot on the Scovilles. Apart from when they had Jeff Goldblum on, and he's a vegan, so they had vegan wings. In fact,
Natalie Portman did as well.
Yeah. And they just watched them react. My favourite, before we're not allowed to like him anymore, was the guy from Silicon Valley, TJ
Miller.
TJ Miller.
Yeah, he was fantastic on it, but now he's mental. But more recently, a couple of months ago, Nick Offerman was on there, and it was fantastic. It's honestly, you've got to check it out.
Because he's very much not Ron Swanson just in real life, isn't he? He's so that anyway.
But there's there's a lot of contrast. So he's not as political as Ron is, But some of Ron's morals he does have, and he's got that little giggle when he laughs as well, which is just funny. Anyway, if you get a chance, watch it. It's really good.
Have you watched that? It's on Apple TV Plus, so I'm assuming you two might have, but I forget what it's called. It's about an MMO developer, and it's about the team there making this.
It's called Dice, isn't it?
Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. You're thinking of a much more serious show, I think, Reg.
Right, okay. I wanted to watch that. It's on my to-watch list. I've just finished C. Incidentally, C
like
shit.
Filling the hole that Silicon Valley has left in my life.
Have you watched it?
No, not yet. It just from what I saw, I was like that. It looks along the same sort of lines.
Interesting. C shit, by the way, so don't bother with that.
What is?
C. The Mimosa. Momoa.
One where everyone's blind.
Yeah.
Momoa is really good. I watched that for the first time. Oh no, Moana is what I watched. Sorry. I watched that for the first time 2 days ago.
More singing, Reg. More singing.
That was really, really fun. I watched it for the first time and found it Dory.
You like Shiny?
It was great.
Do you sing along?
I've never seen it before, so that was the first time I've seen it. Maybe next time I will.
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy it. Although the chicken was the star of the show.
Hey is the best. And yeah, he definitely has mental problems.
It's because he keeps falling on his head.
And he's just like, he's so oblivious. He's quite happy. He's happy in his stupidity.
Yeah. Oh, I watched for the first time the other day, again, Netflix, Ponyo.
I love Ponyo.
It was so good.
Adorable.
I've been getting really excited about these Studio Ghibli films that I've never seen before, but heard a lot about. I loved My Neighbor Totoro. I loved it, and I love that at the end of My Neighbor Totoro and Ponyo, they have their own little theme at the end where they sing about them. It's adorable. Do you remember the Totoro one is Totoro?
Absolutely. Do you like how they? Well, Ponyo does pretty much, but Totoro hasn't really got much of a story to it and doesn't really have an end. It's just sort of moseying along, and then it's like,
just adorable.
We better wrap this up. Okay, they think their mom's dead, and she runs away. Go, and that's the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's not really much else that happens other than this is just
carried away with the relationship with that kid, and
it's amazing. It's so bizarre that it's that good. But a lot of them are like that. A lot of them just don't have any point to it, and then suddenly it's just like, oh, it's ended.
But Ponyo kind of reminded me a little bit of Little Mermaid, though.
Yeah, a little bit. But with did you watch it dubbed or subbed?
Dubbed.
Okay, so you heard Liam Neeson as the.
It was Liam Neeson. I was sure of it. Like, I really bad. And I googled it, and I couldn't find it because I obviously don't know how to use Google properly. Okay. But I was sure it was Liam Neeson. Especially that bit when he's on the phone going, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'll have to confess, I've never seen My Neighbor Totoro. I don't think I've ever actually watched a Studio Ghibli film in its completion.
Well, they're all on Netflix.
Yeah, well, this is what's amazing. There has always been these people out there just like, oh yes, Studio Ghibli is wonderful, and they've probably never seen a single one.
Same.
But now they're actually on. Everyone's just like, fair enough, I might as well give this an hour and a half of my time.
I'd watched Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Also Prince of Mononoke, but that was years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of that one, but as much as the others anyway. But that always gets a lot of a lot of praise, but I'm not a big fan.
But yeah, if you want a feel good film,
My Neighbor Totoro.
And Ponyo, yeah. Watch it with the
Ponyo
kids.
As well.
Watch it with the babies. See what happens. I bet they love it.
Totoro especially. It is absolutely adorable. Such a nice film. Yeah, and then watch Porco Rosso because it's awesome and crazy. It's about a guy who flies like biplanes, and he gets turned into a pig. And then he goes into hiding, and then these sea pirates and air pirates come after him, and it's great. It's awesome.
So, staying on Netflix for a second.
This hits our episodes. We're just going to talk about streaming services, right?
I think it makes sense.
I'm fine with that.
Because of the fact that we're all on lockdown, so we're all catching up on a lot of TV.
Exactly, and what people want is recommendations.
So, Better Call Saul has just ended its latest season, I think season 5. I think we've talked about this before. It is hands down much better than Breaking Bad. If you've seen Breaking Bad, you need to watch it. But I would say it's one of the best shows on Netflix, easily. It's so good. It's honestly because there's this whole like storyline going on. There's no spoilers. If you've seen Breaking Bad, this isn't a spoiler. He's single in Breaking Bad, right?
Okay.
Like he doesn't have a girlfriend or partner at all.
Right.
Now in Better Call Saul, he has this girlfriend. He has this girl that's knocking about, and like we're now getting to the point where we're getting close to Breaking Bad time. So obviously something happens to her. And all the people that are watching Better Call Saul, they're fucking shitting themselves because they're like, shit, what's going to happen to Kim?
Right.
Because we know she's going to, it's very doubtful that they're going to just break off because they're getting closer and closer. So like, there's just this, they're playing around with like timelines and really, really teasing you.
Well, that's good because most of the time, that's the problem with prequels. You sort of, you know where it's going.
Yeah,
and it's just hard to get invested. But at least with that, it's kind of the opposite.
There's two characters you get close to in Better Call Saul that aren't in Breaking Bad. So of course, those two characters you're invested in, and you know they're going to die. Yeah, absolutely.
Or they just run off together and live happily ever after.
Well, that doesn't happen either, does it? We know that.
Well, see, because that's the assumption people made with when Rogue One came out. The thing that I was arguing about so much, I was like, oh, I knew how it was going to end because they're not in the film. So obviously, and it's like, well, there's no guarantee. It's a big galaxy. There's no guarantee that anybody had to, anything had to happen to those characters. In the same way that people in Better Call Saul, they could just drive away. You never know.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But at least with Rogue One, I'd never really thought about what happened to get up to that point when I watched Star Wars. I just kind of was like, I don't know, when they announced the film and everything, I just thought, oh, Star Wars, let's go and watch it. And it's my favourite one. I absolutely love it. And I everything that happens in it, it's just you completely oblivious to it when you watch New Hope. It's just like, oh yeah, they managed to get these plans out from the Empire.
I get that. I get that that anything could have happened to those characters. What they're doing in Better Call Saul though is making it clear that these characters definitely go. Because they keep having these scenes where they keep littering, especially in the first couple of seasons. They don't do it so much anymore, but they keep putting these like scenes in where there's like a flash forward to after Breaking Bad, where he's working in this Cinnabon restaurant, and it's all in black and white to help you figure out where you are. And he's just really lonely and depressed, and he's in a flat on his own. And again, no spoilers, because that's like one of the first scenes in episode 1, season 1. The writers are making it clear that it doesn't end well for him after the Breaking Bad saga.
It's more Rogue One and less prequel trilogies, which that definitely didn't do the same as well. That was just, I had nothing invested in that. It was just like, exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Rogue One was, incidentally, I think me and you talked about this before, Dave, but Rogue One is my favourite Star Wars film.
It's a lot of people's favourite, and I think, and I get that, because obviously I'm a fan of the whole thing, right? But Rogue One is one of those films where it's a self-contained story. It adds to the saga. It doesn't need to, but it does, and it's effective at doing that.
But it breaks away from it at the same time, which is refreshing. That's what I like about it.
It shows very different things. I mean, I think my absolute favorite scene in that film is quite early on, and it's the part where Cassian Andor's getting and this is it's not a spoiler. If you've not seen Rogue One by now, that's your problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
Disney Plus, it's on there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a scene where Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, who's one of the main good guys, good guys with inverted commas. He gives him some information, and he goes to run away, and Cassian Andor shoots him in the back, and just kills the guy because he's worried the guy's going to rat him out to the Empire. Like, it shows the rebellion as a rebellion and as a bit shady, and nothing else does that, because in all the rest of the Star Wars films, the rebellion are the good guys, but it doesn't kind of address the fact that for them to be a rebellion, they have to go against things in a way that can have that gray area. So I like that about Rogue One, is it shows you only a bit of that, but it shows you a bit to be like, they're the good guys, but they're not always good guys, and that's okay, So,
but are the bad guys allowed to be let off because they're all brainwashed and they're trained to think a certain way from a very early age? And in which case, are we supposed to feel bad when they blow up like hundreds of thousands of people in the 2 Death Stars? All the independent contractors on there that got killed.
Well, there's a Kevin Smith piece of dialogue there. I like that. But I think it's that thing of, I like the fact, and the Disney Plus series, which is coming out who knows when, which is the Cassian Andor, fronted series. They've said now they are, and they've said now that it's going to be set 5 years before Rogue One. So it gives them a bit of leeway if they want to make multiple series, but also to show sort of how the rebellion is formed and what it's like at the beginning, which is quite exciting.
Unpopular opinion, I'm not enjoying Mandalorian.
That is an unpopular opinion, and you're lucky I don't come around to your house right now and explain to you why you're wrong.
You're not allowed social distancing.
Exactly. You're lucky. You're lucky. It's a great series. It's like a Western combined with cool little nods to all the cool Star Wars things. Like, what are you talking about?
Speaking of Westerns.
Are you going on to Westworld? Yeah.
Reg, have you watched today's episode?
No, because I've worked and I've got a little kid that I have to look after as well until he's going to bed. And now you guys decide Monday night's the fucking podcast night.
It could not be.
Text me when you watched it. There's another oh shit moment, and it's so good.
I'm going to be caught up with you guys very soon. By the way, I've finished season 2 about 3 days ago.
For the first time.
Yeah, I only got when it started showing originally. I got halfway through episode 2, and then they took it off Now TV. Like mid episode, it just stopped working, and I went back, and it had gone.
So, what's your thoughts on season 2? Because I had to watch it twice before I understood what was going on.
It wasn't like so season much 1. Season 1, you didn't. There's so many things I don't want to spoil if people haven't watched it. But you didn't realize
season 1 yet. You're allowed to spoil it because that's 3 years old.
You didn't realize about the different timelines, did you? About
William? No idea.
Okay, let's all say with that. I loved the second season. I had no idea where it was going to go, but also didn't. It was hard to keep. It's harder, I think, to keep track of the time differences.
Well, that's because they went all Pulp Fiction with it. They were actively trying to be like, here's what happens at the end. Now here's a bit of the middle. Now here's the end again.
But amazing. But so just one of those shows where you've really got to concentrate if you want to get the most out of it. Yes. There's so many shows that I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'll be on my laptop at the same time, or I'll play on my Vita or whatever, and I'll just have it on in the background. But with that, you're like, you've got to just watch it.
This is potentially Ed Harris's best work, I'd say.
Although I did, so me and Steve have been watching season 3.
Yeah,
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Well, I understand a little bit that it's mostly out of the parks, right? It's about the real world.
Yeah. But there is quite a big bit as well in the park, so it's great, and also surrounding it and whatnot. But I completely missed the biggest thing that's happened. In like probably all 3 of the seasons.
And is that the thing I texted you about?
Yeah. And he was like, "How did you not get that?"
Jesus
Christ! Because the TV was on quite quiet, and my hearing's gone to shit now. So like, I missed like a bit of it. I was like, "That was a really amazing episode. Like, it was such a really good episode." And I was chatting to Steve, and he was like, "A blur." And I was like, "What?"
Did you go back and watch it again?
He's like, "How did you not get that?" And I was like, "Huh. I'll have to watch that again."
Yeah.
So I had to go back and watch it again when like everyone was in bed, just quite loud. It was like, oh shit! It was a really massive, huge bit that would have been better first time round if it hadn't been spoiled for me.
It was on par with the William spoiler, with the William reveal, definitely. I think.
It's a really good series. To be fair, season 3 is a lot better than season 2 of Westworld.
Yeah, and you can also tell that they've got a bit of budget.
It's insane. It's amazing the quality of that TV show.
Yeah.
Just everyone raved about how good Game of Thrones looked and how good that was, but it's not even a patch on the quality and the budget they must have put into Westworld. It's amazing.
And you think it was good then? Just wait until you see like how epic it is outside of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the budget's just like tenfold. It's insane.
They've clearly got a lot more money to play with in this season, like, because fuck me, the effects and stuff.
But it's another one of those. There's only 8 episodes, so they probably had the same budget. They were just like, let's split it over 8 episodes instead of.
I thought there was 10 episodes. Is
no, 8 this season.
So next week's the last episode.
I don't know what is it up to 7? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they've got. Oh, okay. I've got a lot of catching up to do.
That's interesting. And speaking of shows with big, huge budgets,
okay,
I have gone back to watching probably one of the best shows that's ever been shown on telly, with probably one of the biggest budgets as well. Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
You're going to say Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It's on 4, isn't it?
It's just one of those comedies.
Dave, have you seen it?
Show which is just
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's one of those sort of weird comedies that I never really got with, like Mighty Boosh. I just never really got with it.
Watch. I love Mighty Boosh, but Dark Place is a hard watch.
Dark Place is the best. So I started watching Dark Place when I used to go around to the guy who would do Sidequest Activated with. I went around. His mum wasn't very well, so we sat up and just like basically kept her company and stuff. And it was on Channel 4 at like 1 a.m. And some woman was turning into a broccoli, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Just a weird, surreal show. And like the acting was just the worst in it. And we're like, we need to know what this is. So this was like the day before Sky Digital and all that sort of stuff. It was just like normal like channels 1 to 4 or whatever. And I was like, we need to know what this is. And then just randomly, like about a year later, we clocked on to Dark Place, and I was like, oh my God, it's that show. Watched it, fell in fucking love with it. And like when you were talking before about shows that you always have like Seinfeld, you always have those moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, that's probably with the likes of the Boosh or IT Crowd. It's just one of the shows that as soon as I hear something, I instantaneously go straight back into Dark Place.
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy when there's only 6 episodes. But the thing is, there's not a bad episode. They're
really
all the level is high throughout.
Weirder than the other.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, and when you look at it back then, you'd watch that program and you wouldn't think twice about the cast. But if you watched it now, you'd be like, it's him, it's him, it's her, it's him. I can't. Yeah, it's like literally a who's who of current comedy.
Every single one of them. You just say, oh shit, it's that one. It's amazing.
Reg, did you watch Mindhorn?
No, I tried to watch it because it was on Netflix. It was on some streaming show, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And I didn't think I had access to it at the time. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it now. And then there's like 1,001 other things to watch, and I was like, I'll get round to that. And then just never.
I really liked it.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? I didn't mind it, but we watched it together, and I think I fell asleep during it. But you watched it all, and then we were raving about how good it was.
Give it another go, honestly.
Well, I did. I finished it off, and it was good, but wasn't all I'd hoped and dreamed.
I don't know. I mean, I was a big fan of Boosh, and it sort of reminded me a bit of that kind of style.
It is. I mean, he's a one-trick pony, but it's a good trick.
Oh, was it written by him? By what's his name?
Julian Barrett.
Julian Barrett, yeah.
Great, but just bringing up to date, just because I know we're getting towards the end of the pod. I do just have a really big, huge thing to do. So if you are on obviously the Tinty webs while you're listening to this, now you're in lockdown quarantine, be very, very careful. I've just spoiled The Last of Us 2 for myself accidentally by looking at a comment on a board. Nothing to do with The Last of Us. It was about the new WWE game that's coming out, because they're not doing a 2K21. They're doing like a new sort of like arcadey style one, which is very reminiscent to like WWE All Stars. So that's coming out, called Battlegrounds. It looks quite fun. But they said after the hot mess that was fucking WWKE, whatever, fucking 2K, they're not going to do this year's one. So I was like, right. Okay, so I was reading the comments just to see how much abuse the art style was going to get for this. And apparently the spoilers and the script and all plot details for Last of Us 2 are now live. So Naughty Dog have had to go on their social media and be like, guys, can you please stay away from anything to do spoiler-wise? They are all real, and it's coming out June the 19th now. So they pushed it forward because people are spoiling it. They're like, shit, right, we need to bring this close now so not everyone gets it ruined. But I've just had huge...
That's nice of them, though, right? That they're bringing them forward.
It's great.
What is wrong with people, though? What is the wrong with people to have to share that kind of shit? Why? Who is it who gets the kind of enjoyment? It's not like someone who's played the game and goes, "Oh, I'll tell someone how it ends." They've never even played the game. They're just sharing story details and shit. Why would somebody do that? I don't get it.
The worst thing was, is because I was reading through the comments and I was like, there's loads of people naming wrestlers and stuff, and I was like, no idea who that is. And then some of the comments were just comedy gold. And then I was just reading through, and all of a sudden I was like, huh, that's weird how they reference those characters. Like, I wonder if someone's done like a weird tag team in wrestling that's got the same sort. I wonder if it's like just a theme around that. And then I properly read it, and I was like, oh no. And then I literally went on IGN, and it was like the top article is The Last of Us 2 spoilers have arrived, and I was like, I thought it was. Fuck's sake.
Speaking of wrestlers, I am the kind of guy who doesn't often buy shampoo because I just use my wife's shampoo, which is fine.
Half as much shampoo now.
Well, yeah. So I'm a bargain, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
I don't use much of your shampoo at all.
And he's got legs.
But, I got legs. I'm Dan's type. Mm-hmm. So I was using this shampoo.
Hairless with legs.
Hairless with legs.
Episode of the pod, right there.
God. And I realized that I was using a shampoo that was named after a 90s wrestler because the shampoo was called Rich Radiance. And I was like, that should be
a wrestler?
Rich Radiance.
Well, no, because there's a wrestler called Ric Flair, a very famous wrestler called Ric Flair,
right.
And Rich Radiance is not far off.
You have to do it, Dave.
Don't sound like it.
Okay, watch your audio levels. Woo!
Okay, that was a conservative woo, wasn't it?
That was a conservative woo. So I know we're on headphones here, and I feel that's.
Dan, is that going on the pre-theme tune?
Maybe.
Try to do a better one. Ready? Okay, wash your ears. Ready? Okay, breathe. Woo! Better?
You sound like Scooby-Doo.
It sounds like it sounds like someone the star law.
Raggy?
Either that or it could be Tim Allen. There's some more 90s TV references right there for everyone.
Brilliant.
When you were talking about spoilers, just to go back to that, it was the same with Final Fantasy
spoilers.
Remake, wasn't it? Final Fantasy VII Remake started to ship to people like a week and a half, 2 weeks before it actually came out. So Square Enix put out a social media post saying, "Look, play it. It's fine. You've got it. Just play it, but do not spoil it for people because it's." Everyone just thought at first, oh, this is just a remake of the game, but there are apparently so many huge differences, and one especially at the ending.
It's phenomenal how different it actually is. So I've not got round to playing it yet, but because I know I don't have much time, and I do really want to play it, but at the same time, I'm playing Fire Emblem, which has taken up my entire fucking life, and it's amazing. It's so fucking good. I will get around to playing Final Fantasy VII, but I couldn't, for the life of me, stop myself, and I don't know why. I just had what's the differences and what the true ending means, and I was like, oh, what's that then? So while I was working, I just listened into the entire plot and the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I think the reason they're doing it is if you look at the box art, it doesn't say it's part 1. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It doesn't say that, and there is a load of differences, but it's going to be. It's good enough for the people that really wanted it. It's going to piss off some fans that are like, proper tattoos of certain moments and that sort of stuff. That are like, what the fuck? Why aren't they doing this anymore? But it's interesting. It's keeping it fresh, and it genuinely looks and sounds beautiful.
Yeah,
it's everything you really want from like a modern day Final Fantasy. Since they're not doing turn-based sort of tactics and that sort of stuff anymore. It's solely like it's Final Fantasy 15 with the combat, but done a bit more fluid and easier for people to like sort of pick up with. Like I loved Final Fantasy 15. Well, I know I will love Final Fantasy 7. It's not the best Final Fantasy, because we all know Final Fantasy 8 is, and if they did this to Final Fantasy 8, then my erection would be going through this table right now.
I thought 10 was the best, the multiplayer one.
That's not even 10. No. Final Fantasy 10 is the one with Tidus. So there's 2 multiplayer Final Fantasy online ones. There's 11 and there's 14.
Oh, it's 11. 14. I remember everyone going mental about it.
Everyone out there, prepare to get yourself schooled by Reginus Final Fantasy knowledge.
I love Final Fantasy.
Strap yourselves in.
So I'm playing Fire Emblem at the moment, which is also like a strategy-based grid sphere one, like Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, if you love that game, they've done another one called War of the Visions on mobile devices. It has got like a little mini gacha thing, but it doesn't take away any of the enjoyment from it, and it's not very restrictive on the playthrough. And the stories are awesome, and the gameplay is awesome, and the characters are fantastic. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics and like the one that they brought across onto the Game Boy Advance, honestly, you need to try this. It's amazing. But yeah, so go ahead. I do like me some Final Fantasy. My one concern with 7 remake, quickly, is Red 13. A, isn't playable, and B, isn't Scottish.
What got me though? What really got me was looking at Final Fantasy 7, because I have to confess I never really played it when it was, obviously how long ago, 20 years ago, when it was new. I never really played it. It wasn't really my thing. But I thought, I saw it on the App Store for iPhone and iPad, and I thought, I'll have a look at it. 16 quid. The game is 20 years old, and they've released a brand new remake, and you want 16 quid for a mobile version. That shocked me. But I realize it's the full game.
On the PSN and the Xbox and Switch, it's like $9.99. It's Square Enix on their mobile services are awful with the prices. Yeah. But to be fair, Final Fantasy 7, like I said, 8 is my favourite. I won't go into this much more. 8 is my favourite, but 7 is probably the first time I think I cried in a game.
Wow.
It was. I'm not even spoiling this either because everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Anyway, it's not so much the scene; it's the music. So, Eris's tune or Eris's theme, it's called. The moment that took play and stuff, it's just when she passes. It's just like the music's just fucking. The scene's like, oh my god, when it happens. But her tune, man, like, it is such a beautiful piece of classical music. I had it as a ringtone back in the good old like Nokia days, and then I gave it my dad, my old phone, and he uses it still as like he's passed it across and asked me for it for his Samsung phone. He still uses Eris's theme as his ringtone, and whenever I'm around his house and it starts playing, just a dun dun dun, I'm like, it's really fucking touching piece of music, and I think that hits hard, and that's a great moment to have from the game. So I don't know if you're going to have that in this, because obviously it hasn't happened in part 1 yet. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're going to have the same like, oh my god, sort of moment and whatnot.
No, but like you say, it seems like they're trying to. It's almost like the Star Trek film that they did, the J.J. Abrams one, where it's like it's trying to be the same but start off this separate storyline.
I'm going to be very intrigued. I think when we do a separate another pod, when we can talk about this a bit more detail, because I've got a really huge thing I want to try and get into and discuss about it. But obviously now we're like an hour and 10 minutes into this pod. I'm best off not wasting another like 45 minutes, especially with it being 10:30, trying to discuss Final Fantasy 7 remake that no one's played or got any interest in that I'm talking to here.
God, I'm really hoping this records now, looking at the time and how much we put into this.
Yes.
Really hope it works.
Yeah, just to fill everyone in, we're trying a new little setup, and we're relying on the internet to record us. So, yes. So it's going to be nerve-wracking.
Quickly as well, 2 things, game related, while I'm obviously on here.
Reg's full feelings on the Final Fantasy saga.
Yes.
So Final Fantasy 1 is, going back to my main love, Shenmue.
Obviously.
So I play a mobile game which has got Ryozuki in it. It's the sole reason I started playing it. It's called Sega Heroes. I've spent a year and a half playing this game, and it's shutting down its servers in May the 21st. But the best thing they've done now is they've basically just said to everyone, if you haven't played it yet, best thing to do, come on board now. We're just letting everyone have all the characters, and you can just go fucking mental in your arena and just do what you want to do. So it's awesome now that you get to high level all the characters from Shenmue. You know, I spent time and effort, a lot of effort in fucking getting up to scratch, and now people are just like maining the teams in the arena, and I'm like, I've only got like 10 days left or whatever of it, which is a shame. But if you are playing games on your PC, obviously there's a few console companies at the minute now that are giving their games away for free, but PC games are going absolutely mental at the moment. So all your streaming, all your not streaming, any of your games that you use, like Steam, Epic, EA and whatnot, have a look on their things. So many free games out there at the moment, which are AAA titles, which are just stupidly good. Like at the moment, Total War 2 is now free on Steam today. It's only available until the 1st of May, but it's available from today, so like a week long. And they've been doing loads of these, like literally loads of these. So you need to just start flicking through. Like I was saying last week, I want to get myself a brand new gaming laptop once all this sort of dies down and I can actually afford to go out and do it when the bonuses come back. So I was like, I really want to get myself a new gaming laptop. So I, on my work laptop, I downloaded all of the all the services, and I've just started literally downloading, like storing all of the games, so that when it hits, I can be like, I'll download all these now.
Clever.
But there's so many really good titles out there. So if you are on your PC and you're literally just dicking around doing work and stuff, have a look at some of the great titles on there.
Even on like on PlayStation, they have the Uncharted collection is free, and Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 or something is free as well. And what's the other one? Yeah, there's and Journey. Journey's free.
Journey was a great game. So Journey was a game that I never got to experience fully myself first, because I used to listen to another podcast and watch these series on YouTube, like Achievement Hunter. And they used to like play games and chat. And he interviewed Ray, who was one of the guys who worked there at the time, and he would play a game while they were chatting. And I got drawn into Journey while he was playing it. And literally the hour that they were talking about it, he completed the game from start to finish. And was like, oh wow, that was quick, but that game was really nice. And I was like, but now I know everything about it. And he was discussing bits of it as you're going along as well, so I knew like how it progressed and what was going on. I was like, well, that's a shame, because that would have been really nice to sort of experience that firsthand. But usually they pick games that last for hours and just like, dip in and out, and it just looks like it's a nice game to have on in the background while they're talking. Yeah, it turns out it wasn't that. He just played the full game. I was like, oh shit, I've ruined that.
Oh well.
So good though. You need to play it if you haven't.
Yeah, well, an hour is a good length for a game, I think, just as it is a good length for a podcast.
Is indeed.
So, I've been down.
Most importantly, though, what have we learned today? We learned that Ray needs to get onto TikTok and create a 15-second Shenmue snippet, a gashapon, if you will, of Shenmue nuggets of information to share on TikTok. I think that'd be great.
So while you said that, I was just literally having a look on one of the other social pages, and they put up on the Turtle page that I follow, two people are doing the vanilla dance, the Vanilla Ice dance from the Turtles film. So I'm like, I need to do a TikTok. So I think I can do that as well. Like, go ninja, go!
Come on, Reg, let's do it.
Go, awesome. Ninja, go.
We can do that duet thing that the kids are down.
There you go. Kids are all down with that. Let's do it.
And talking. So let's do it. Why not? I'll delete the account straight after it, but let's do it.
You get hooked, Reg.
And Ash has it. She loves it, and I can't. I don't know. There's something about just watching videos and stuff on phones just pisses me off. I hate it. I genuinely can't do it. It's like I can't watch like Netflix and stuff on my phone. Like Oliver is obsessed watching like Dougie and stuff on the phone. He'll watch it on the phone when we're out and about. If I've got anything I really want to watch, I'm like, I'll watch that, but Ash isn't interested in it. I'll wait until I ever get an opportunity to watch it. I can't bring myself to watch something on a phone.
I love the things that enrage you, Reg. They're always so random, and I love it because it's just out of nowhere. You're like, you know what I hate? Watching shit on your phone. Anyway, I think Dan said goodbye, so I presume he's still here.
Yeah. Sorry.
But, I've been Dave.
I've been Reg.
I've been Sean.
Steve.
I'm still Dan.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye. See you next week.